The match 2 of round 4 in Super Rugby Pacific, the Waratahs taking on the Hurricanes. Now, this is an interesting matchup. Both sides already having their bye, and the Waratahs currently one of the few undefeated sides throughout Super Rugby. And in this preview, we'll be looking through at their head-to-head record, which, fun fact, isn't too great for this Waratahs side, the lineups that both teams have selected, and then also at the end, a bit of a prediction who I think win this contest. But jumping straight into it, we will start with the Waratahs lineup. They have got quite a few decent returns, couple injury concerns, as do all the sides at this stage of the competition. But in the front row, it is Tom Lambert. Falau Fainga'a, he comes in at number 2 to replace Ethan Dobbins. Started up against the Fijian Drua, and Daniel Bota, he is there as the number 3. Matt Phillip, the captain, at 4, with Miles Amatasero at 5. It's been a pretty handy duo for the Waratahs throughout their 2 matches. In the number 6 jersey, it is Leafi Talataina. He comes into the starting lineup rather than Halaholo, who will instead make his way off the bench. In the rest of the loose forward, they have got Charlie Gamble, recently announced that he is going to be going to Japan. It will be a massive hit for the Waratahs, not just for their mustache status, but also for what he does out there on the park. And their number 8, Pete Samu, the signing from the Brumbies, going to the Tahs this year, finding his feet in that number 8 jersey. For the backline, it is Jake Gordon alongside Lawson Creighton, who has been extremely strong under the high ball for the Waratahs. Gordon's got that experience and the exciting head-to-head of him versus Cam Roigard happening for this game. Max Jorgensen out on the left wing. He is a superstar in the making. Although you could also argue that he is already one. He has got try-scoring ability from pretty much anywhere on the field. And when you look through at this Waratahs squad, he is one of those names that really do stand out as to why they could have quite a successful Super Rugby this year. In the midfield, Joey Walton alongside Joseph Akuso Suali'i as the 13. I'll be honest, first 2 matches, we haven't actually seen a huge amount of Suali'i, but up against the New Zealand side, that is normally when we see some of these guys step up to their highest level, and I'd like to think that Suali'i falls into that category. Out on the right wing, it is Tristan Riley. Last game, they did have Harry Potter out on that right, but he has suffered a toe injury, so he is out for this week, and no certain date as to when he will be back as of yet. But another player who does return, Andrew Callaway at number 15. Hendren played 15 last match, but now we get to see Callaway back in action for the Waratahs. So you look at this back line: Jake Gordon, Max Jorgensen, Joseph Suali'i, Andrew Callaway. It's a pretty strong one, and you'd have to argue one of the strongest back lines when it comes to Australian teams. Quickly looking through at the bench, Ioane Moananu, after making his Waratahs debut 2 weeks ago, he gets that 16 spot yet again, managed to score 2 tries off the bench up against the Fijian Drua, so continuing that great form that he had when playing for the Crusaders. There is also a debut at number 23, that is Sid Harvey. For anyone who doesn't know this man, he is from the under-20 setup for Australia. He's also played a little bit of sevens, he's got a lot of pace, and he could certainly be a bright prospect for this Waratahs side and the future too. But looking through now at the Hurricanes starting lineup, they have been chopping and changing in the props department. In this match, Xavier Numia at 1, Asafua Moore keeps his spot at 2, and Pasilio Tosi back in the starting lineup as the number 3. Warner Dearns moves to 4, with Isaiah Walker-Leawiri slotting in at 5, so a bit of a reshuffle there for the Hurricanes. We haven't really seen that dynamic ball running that we're used to seeing from Warner Dearns when playing international for Japan, but I'd say that they're just trying to fine-tune him at the moment, get him into Hurricanes mode, and as soon as he does, he will be extremely dangerous. In the loose forward trio, Devin Flanders plays 6, Duplessis Karefi returns for his first game of the Super Rugby campaign at 7, and then Peter Larkai, he slots in as the number 8. For the 9-10 combination, it is Cam Roigard as the 9, number 10, Callum Harkin. Now, that has been a bit of a cursed position for the Hurricanes for quite some time. Brett Cameron suffering the knee injury, he is out for the season. Harry Godfrey, he is also out for the season with a knee injury. And Ruben Love, he's still out for another 2 to 4 weeks with his ankle injury. So I don't know if you want to have that number 10 on your back for the Canes, as it just seems to be the one position that is repeatedly getting injured. So hopefully Callum Harkin, he will be 100% at the end of this game. It is a bit of a reshuffle, as he was playing 15 for the earlier stage of the season, but now slots in as that 9 and 10 alongside Cam Roigard. On the left wing, it is Fehi Finianofo. He has been outstanding throughout the early matches. He could have had a hat-trick in that opening contest, but gave it to Morby instead. He is going overseas as well, so a massive hit for New Zealand rugby, as I'd say he had a pretty good chance of being an AB's bolter. In the midfield, Geordie Barrett, the other co-captain, he is at 12 with Billy Proctor on the outside, so the All Blacks duo in that centre pairing. Balin Sullivan out on the right wing, and Josh Morby at number 15. For the Hurricanes, off of their bench, they have got Brad Shields for that experience, Braden Yossi, who will be able to bring that nice bit of impact, and also Iritara Inari going head-to-head off of the bench with Teddy Wilson. Be a very entertaining way for both sides to finish. But looking through at what they have done so far throughout this season for the Waratahs, I mentioned they are undefeated, having a great win over the Reds in round 1, 36 points to 12, and then also being able to beat the Fijian draw 2 weeks ago in round 2, 36 points to 13. So they've been pretty consistent in terms of scoring 36 points. If the trend continues, that would mean they win this game 36-14. But I don't think the Canes would be too happy with that, just like they weren't happy with their performance last week, losing to the Fijian draw 25 points to 20. The conditions in Fiji were maybe not best suited to the way the Hurricanes like to play the game, but they needed to adapt. They weren't really able to do so, and they were beaten by the better team on the day, being the Fijian draw. Their first game up against Moana Pacifica, that game was when they were playing their natural running attacking style, 52 points to 10. A great win there. So it's either been a close loss or a one-sided affair for the Hurricanes. And at their first two, looking through at the head-to-head of Hurricanes versus Waratahs, most recent fixture was just last year, 57-12 in favour of the Canes. The year prior to that, 41 points to 12. And the year before that, 34 points to 17. It was quite interesting because all three of those games were Hurricanes home matches. Normally you get the one game at home one year and then you go away for the next, but somehow it worked out that the Canes played them in Wellington 3 times in a row. The last time that these two sides played in Australia, it was 22-18 in favour of the Hurricanes. That was back in 2022. And also, these two sides had that massive game of Super Rugby Trans-Tasman back in 2021, where the Waratahs were defeated, scoring 48 points, but the Hurricanes, they scored the 64. Now, I don't think we're going to get a game like that, or at least I'd like to think we won't in this case. Both sides would like to make a tackle or two throughout the 80 minutes, so that should bring us down a little bit in terms of the scoreline. But my prediction for this game, I think the Hurricanes will be fired up after suffering that defeat last week. New Zealand sides haven't got the best record in Australia at the moment, and this game could actually be one of the closer that we've seen between the two sides, predominantly because of how much better I feel the Waratahs are this year than they have been in the past. I'm going to go the I don't know, actually. I think the Hurricanes will sneak this one, but I don't think it will be by much. I'm going about 30 points to 27, or somewhere around there. I think it will be a very close game, hopefully round about those points, so we get to see a few decent tries from both sides. But there's just that little gut feeling that I've got that this game could actually be a very competitive one. But then again, if the Canes do come out firing, or the Tahs for that matter, could see there be a little bit more of a split between the two sides. But this game, it is kicking off at 9:35 p.m. New Zealand time on Friday night, which is today when this video comes out. We are going to be doing the live commentary on the channel as well, so be sure to check that out. Let me know who you think will win in the comments down below. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.